So, Lisette, Ashley, you were both recently featured in Commerce Magazine's Women in Industry edition. Right here we've got. And I was just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the experience, the interview process, and what it's like to be famous.
It was nice when she reached out to us to talk to us about it, and she made me feel very comfortable with the questions that she asked, and it was easy to answer some of the stuff just in regards to being a woman in manufacturing and the impact that we do every single day and to folks around us. And I don't know, it's cool. It was nice when it was an article that was going to be featured, and nonetheless knowing that I had a former colleague of mine, which is fun. It was an honor.
Yeah.
She for the audience's sake is Commerce and Industry Association of New Jersey's Diane Walsh. She's been with the organization for quite a long time and does an excellent job. So just figured I'd mention that.
Yeah, my experience was similar. Very casual conversation, which I enjoyed. And as far as like the article and what's in the article, she just really allowed, just provided questions that I felt that we were able to just elaborate a little bit more about our experience. I talked a little bit about my daughter and her, helping her, encouraging her into leadership and STEM and stuff like that. So it was a good conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I too had the opportunity to get interviewed and got a couple of quotes into the article, and I shared the same experience. It was very, very easy conversation. Nice to be able to put the spotlight on the both of you and really just highlight all the great things that both of you are up to. So talk a little bit to me about the New Jersey, what it's like being in manufacturing, specifically in New Jersey, but just generally speaking, women in manufacturing. I mean, I feel like you guys are both sort of, breaking some walls down and doing some really special things. So talk a little bit about your role and some of the experiences that you've had specifically as women in manufacturing.
Want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So being a woman in manufacturing, it's something that, and I've said this before, I started out in the sports world. So for me, the competition, and especially with this field being heavily male, yes. it's a very big male population when it comes to women in manufacturing. And I hope that when I read this article, it's like I hope that I encourage other women, and also too, being in the manufacturing side, specifically from the medical side, I get to oversee a large portion of the business, which is exciting. Every day has its thrills, and every day is different, which is what I loved. I mean, I loved it when I started, and and I love it right now in the position that I'm in, and then knowing that we have an impact on our end users and the industry is great. For females that are out there, it doesn't have to be within operations itself. It could be, there's so much within medical manufacturing, and especially being as a female, the sky really is the limit. It's whether it's HR, it's quality, engineering, it's doc review. There's just so much out there. Training. Accounting. It's a lot of times people just think, medical manufacturing and it's operations driven. I mean, women, we are paving the path, and I think that anything that they put their minds to, they could do.
Yes. Absolutely, I feel that the same way with. Manufacturing, I think, is at the cutting edge of technology with robotics and automation and 3D printing. Like, there's just so much, and that opens up so many opportunities. Being in HR, I feel that being an influencer in HR and just developing or creating that path, or even being able to bring some awareness to those opportunities, I think is really important.
Then Ashley, to your point earlier, we talk about different roles at Triangle. I can't think of one area of our business that there isn't a woman in. So yes, there's doc review, there's quality, there's engineering, there's operations, there's accounting, there's HR, everything. There are women in every aspect of our business, and it's really great to see, because that's not what it was like 10, 15, 20 years ago when I started. it really wasn't that way. So there was really great opportunities in all different areas of manufacturing, especially in medical manufacturing, for women to be making a difference. And women are making a big difference at Triangle.
Yeah.
Was that, you mentioned your daughter earlier and being able to tie her into the article a little bit. What advice would you give your daughter if she wanted to get into specifically manufacturing or medical manufacturing? What would be some of the things some tips that you'd give her, some advice that you give her as far as when she's ready to step into the work world? What would you tell her?
Definitely to be curious, to trust her instincts, and to really just be open-minded about the possibilities and opportunities that are available. With such a young mindset, it gives me the opportunity to introduce her to what is available. We do have Bring Your Kids to Work that's coming up, and that's an amazing event where I feel it's like the best opportunity for our younger generation to see what's available. Growing up, I definitely didn't have an opportunity like that. I had no idea what it was to be a professional in a manufacturing environment. My dad did work in manufacturing. He was a knitting operator for a small company near our home. But from what I remember from that experience was some dirty old shop that he would come home all greasy, and wasn't very fascinating or something that I ever gave a second thought to. So for my daughter, it would definitely be just to follow your instincts, study hard, and just, take that path, because the possibilities are there and there's a lot of opportunity. And again, it's advancing at such a rapid pace that she's going to be exposed to so many different things. So for me, that's exciting.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier the cutting edge and robotics and automation and all the great technology that we're leveraging these days. The world that I remembered growing up from manufacturing and my exposure with Triangle was very similar to what you were describing with your father. I remember it being dirty and dark, and it smelled. And I could remember specifically my father smelled like the shop when he came home from work, and that wasn't necessarily a good smell. It just was what he smelled like. So today's manufacturing is just so different. I mean, our shop floors are spotless, and the environment that people are working in is clean and safe, and it is a totally different world. And I'm proud of the fact that we're a part of that, because it is being on the cutting edge, and we are doing special things. So Ashley, you talked a little bit about every day's an adventure. There's new things that you experience. Obviously, there's some highs, there's some lows. What are some of the things on the positive side and on the negative side that you experience on a day-to-day basis that keeps you on your toes?
Well, I mean, I think every day, like I mentioned, is going to be different. But, we always keep our end users in mind, which are our customers. And then really past that, it's the patients. And that's really important. So, I mean, you could deal with things from a quality side. You could deal with things from resource side, and especially too, like right now, it seems to be a little bit of a struggle. Like Lisette said, our talent pool. I mean, we've pulled so many people into Triangle over the last year, which is incredible. But I mean, the business is growing. Our customers we're at pre-pandemic levels as far as their needs, and also new projects that are coming on board. We're trying to get new equipment up and up to speed, and like Lisette and yourself had mentioned, I mean, getting the automation is such a huge part of our business, and the growth that we're experiencing right now is really a lot of actually not just me, it's the challenges that we're facing organizationally in all of us. And it's a good problem to have, and we have to keep reminding ourselves that, because we're growing faster than right now, we're able to have our output. But it's all good because we do know that within the next coming months, with all the new equipment that we're going to be having, also resources that are coming on board, once they get trained, once they're getting up to speed, it's exciting to know that, right now it's a snapshot in time. And when we look back a couple months from now, it's going to be something else that we're dealing with and a new challenge that we're going to be faced with. And we all could work together. We collaborate and we come up with a solution to be able to better ourselves and again, really making it the best outcome for our end users.
Yeah, absolutely. And, thinking about the fact that we've hired somewhere in the neighborhood of 65 people in the last 15 months, that's a major accomplishment. One, from a recruiting standpoint, Lisette, but also from an onboarding standpoint, from a training standpoint. The fact that we're able to not only find the talent, but we're able to bring them on board, get them trained up, and to continue to successfully run our business without any quality issues is really, it's a testament to the entire team. I'm really, I'm very proud of that aspect of what we're up to. And then Ashley, you mentioned equipment and technology and automation and all the different things that we're investing in. Not only are we investing in people, but we're investing significantly in equipment, probably more so over the course of the last 12 to 18 months than we have ever in our history. So, there's a lot of good things happening, and we're pointing in the right direction. And again, it gets back to a lot of the great things that both of you are doing. And again, some of the women that we've hired are really making a significant difference. So it's pretty cool.
It is. Yeah, it is. It really is.
What would you say is the biggest obstacle when it comes to recruiting in today's environment?
Biggest obstacle, definitely it's finding talent that has the skill already. I've gotten creative in that aspect, looking more for the potential versus looking for someone that has the experience. Someone with the potential, it just shows that they have the drive and they're willing to learn and just grow with us, versus there is that talent shortage. So finding that operator that has 2 to 3 years experience is very difficult. So getting creative in that aspect has been something that I've been able to work around. And it's been pretty successful. I mean, we've onboarded, as you mentioned, close to 65 new hires since last year. And part of that onboarding process is, because they have no experience, we've created a very robust training program where they have the ability to learn how to become a CNC operator, how with classroom training as well as job shadowing. So we give them the right tools and we try to prepare them for a career here at Triangle, which I think is really awesome. And it makes that transition from someone that really doesn't know what they're doing to make them comfortable once they're onboarded and make them part of the family.
Yeah, absolutely. So being in this article here, what were some of the things that surprised you when, after, did you get people reaching out to you that you hadn't heard from in a while, or maybe people reaching out to you that you never knew? I know that when I get my name out there in different things, I normally get a bunch of solicitations. So did you experience any of that?
Absolutely. I mentioned to Ashley, I had family members that I haven't spoken to in years reach out and just congratulate me and just saying how proud they were, and just a lot of kudos and a lot of, thank you for taking the steps and being a role model for females. And it was a lot of that, which felt really good. And friends, family members, I posted the article on social media, so I also got a lot of folks reaching out and sharing their appreciation, and as well as saying how cool it was that we were both in that article.
Yeah, and also too, Triangle advertised it, so a lot of people from the organization reached out, and it's nice to see. We all work so hard together, we put our heads down, and it's nice sometimes when you hear that feedback from other folks. When you're in the day-to-day, it's kind of hard to take a step back and actually look at what's kind of how, for me at least, how I've developed in my role. For me, it's, outside of friends and family, for me, the biggest impact was my parents. When they look and they saw the article, it was just like, it's quiet and it's just in awe, and that they're just so proud of you. And it's just that, I feel like, to me, is like the best feeling in the world, because, our parents always do anything they can to make, you want nothing more for your children to be successful and then to make an impact. And being a female in this role, it's just, I don't know, it's just such an achievement. And that, to me, was the biggest joy of it.
Yeah, I can't imagine how proud both of your parents must be. It's, just to see not only the article is affirming, but just the job that you guys are doing, and how much of an influence not only are you having at Triangle, but industry wide, and just being a part of what we're doing here is making an incredible difference. So, and every once in a while you think about the patients and not just our great clients, but the end users of the products that we make, who they're furthering their lives, and we're always keeping the patients in mind. So yeah. Any other things that you would give to as far as advice to young girls looking to get into manufacturing?
Other than not to be intimidated, I mean, it's actually a really great, it's a great field. You learn a lot, and I know I mentioned every day is different, but it's the exposure to all the different aspects of a business, which is something that's great. I mean, never be intimidated, regardless if it's, it's a male-dominated field or whatever it might be. I mean, it's your mind, and I feel like how you're going to excel in a new position, a new role. Like, don't be intimidated by that. You could do anything you put your mind to, and I truly believe that.
Yeah, and I go back to that curiosity, just continue to explore, because there are a lot of opportunities and possibilities in manufacturing, and just keep an open mind and just keep learning, and you'll be responsible for creating that path. We're examples of that, and I want them to see that. And if we can create a program or something where we can have mentors on site, where it could allow other folks in manufacturing that are females, then that would be a nice way to also continue to help them grow, and give them kind of like that support person that they can just ask questions and help them grow as well.
Yeah.
Well, the two of you are definitely setting a great example for the next generation of young women coming up in manufacturing. And I greatly appreciate you both taking the time with me today to talk a little bit about not only the article, but what you've been up to. And thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank
you.